The continent of Africa is at a critical crossroad in its energy journey. With vast natural resources and an ever-growing demand for power, the continent faces the dual challenge of expanding access while embracing sustainability. At the heart of this conversation is the push for renewable energy, solar, wind, hydro, and beyond, as governments, investors, and innovators work to chart a future that balances growth with climate responsibility. But can renewables truly deliver the scale of transformation Africa needs? And at what pace will that be? News Central's Tolulope Adeleru-Balogun is in Cape Town, South Africa, where renewable energy is taking center stage in conversations.
Renewable energy remains one of Africa's biggest development challenges, with more than 600 million people still living without electricity. At the African Energy Week 2025 in Cape Town, conversations are centering on how off-grid and smart technologies could help bridge this gap, bringing power to underserved communities and driving economic growth across the continent. Industry leaders say innovation is only part of the solution, as there must be investments in a mix of grid expansions and renewable energies.
I would say you do both of them because there's certain areas where you do need the grid, but I think that there needs to be huge investment. And we're seeing that coming in. I mean, I just read a Financial Times report a couple of days ago that talks about how much Nigeria is sucking up the solar space. There's huge demand. We've become, I think, the third largest consumer of solar panels globally, or rather in Africa. And the only way is to just invest in that.
I know for a fact that there are impact investors that are willing to invest in this area. What we need to do is to have people or avenues that marry these impact investors with those with viable projects. And then secondly, we have a lot of wealthy Africans. Can they please bring out some of their money to come and help solve one of Africa's most pressing problems? That will be a real game changer for us.
But beyond the policies for renewable energy, there is still a call for Africa to make use of its energy resources before fossil fuels become less attractive.
Whilst I hear and I see and I'm investing in the transition, I think that there's just still too much development that needs to happen with the reserves and the resources that we have in the country to say that we are moving away completely from it. There is a need for us to actively take advantage of the opportunities that exist now to increase our production to a point where we're getting the full benefit. Because it would happen. It may not be now, maybe it might take 20 years, 30 years. There'll come a time when it'll be less attractive to power your economy through fossil fuels.
As the continent grapples with balancing the urgency of energy access and the global pressure to transition to renewables, the choices made here in Cape Town could define the continent's power future for decades to come.
You will not know or recognize Africa because nobody is growing the grid to poor areas. The only way those poor areas are getting light is because of people like myself and the several other people that are working in these areas. Once we're there, the landscape will change. With light, so many things come. Meaningful light, light that can power an engine, makes a difference.
For News Central, Tolulope Adeleru-Balogun.